Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahar Kakudash. The honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone to rule well. Peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, I want to bring this out. I'm not gonna read the whole chapter. I'm gonna read a good amount of it though, just for those that have a fear of death. Okay, a fear of, well, not just death in general, but death as in dying for this truth. Because the flesh makes people worry. Some brothers I know, just kind of to get you motivated. To get you. I don't know what the word is. What word I should use. Just kind of to get you prepped, for this, okay, for this type of stuff, okay, just to get you prepped for the fact that you may have to die for this truth, okay? I mean, because this flesh, we go off, we make mistakes, we fear, we doubt, but you need to trust Yahweh by Shema Shai. So I'm going to read through this, and yeah, I mean, just, take what you want from it, but I think it's a very heavy chapter, okay? This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. All right, now the devils that got them captured, that have these 7 brethren and their mother, they're Edomites, right? Which you can clearly tell just by the things that are happening so far, let alone when we read the rest of it. Okay, so basically, they want them to taste swine's flesh, okay, to eat pork, all right, and they're saying they're refusing to, they're standing firm for the laws that Yahweh gave Moses, and because they know it's a sin, So one of them said, we are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. All right, we have to be ready to die for that. We have to be ready to die in general for Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, especially when it comes to that chip. Well, are you going to take this chip or are you going to take death? Well, or they're going to say, well, either you take this microchip or you get beheaded, or tortured or whatever. All right. So let me read verse 4 again. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. So they're gonna mutilate him. Okay, well, they have everybody else watch. Now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, The Lord Yahweh looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and Salakia, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. So they laughed at him and insulted him. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, so they basically scalped him, they asked him, Wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? But he answered in his own language and said no. So that's the ancient Hebrew, all right, the Hebrew. I think the word there, I know what it is. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. I think it's la'ah. Or la, it's like la'ah. It's L-A-A-H. All right, la'ah, which means no. All right. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. So they did the exact same things. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, Thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. After him was a third made a mocking stock, and when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon. Holding forth his hands manfully, he said courageously, These I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pain. So he didn't even show any well, I guess you could say emotion for the pain, right? He didn't regard it at all, I don't know, he may have felt it, I'm sure he did feel it. He didn't, he was just showing them that, that he's dying. They're dying for a right cause. They're not just dying to die. They're not just saying, just kill me. They're dying because they're standing firm for Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, man. All right? They're dying for a great cause, okay? Now, when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, It is good, being put to death by men, to look for hope from Yahweh, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Afterward they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of Yahweh, but abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. After him also they brought the sixth, who being ready to die said, Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against Yahweh, that thou shalt escape unpunished. And we are all worthy of death, man. Right? So we're worthy of this a billion. We're worthy of this a trillionfold. All right? And that's probably an understatement. Okay? So, Yahweh Shema Shai willing, we're of the elect, and that Yahweh Yahweh Shai have mercy upon us, man. But the mother was marvelous above all, and worthy of honorable memory, for when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb. For I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you, but doubtless the Creator of the world, which is Yahweh, the mighty, glorious Yahweh, Allah Shadia Yahweh. All right, but this was before Yahweh Shai. This was before Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right, this actually, I'm pretty sure this was like 100 to 200 years. I think it was probably like 100-something years before, something like that. It wasn't far off though. But doubtless the Creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. Now Antiochus, which is a devil, all right, an Edomite, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words. Now this is the youngest son, all right? So this, just listen to this. Well, I mean, Yahweh Shema Shai willing that this is all edifying, that you're soaking in all the words, but just, you'll like this, you'll like this. And did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man, if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. So he was bribing him. He was offering him, a lot of worldly stuff, which would have, had him set for life. But he didn't care about that carnal shit, man. Because we'll see. But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. And when she had exhorted her with many words, and when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son. But she, bowing herself toward him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner, O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee such 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, and consider that Yahweh made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for? Now, Zalaki, let me read this again. This is what the young man said. While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. And thou, that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews, shalt not escape the hands of God, which is Yahweh. For we suffer because of our sins, and though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. But thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against thy servants of God. For thou, which is Yahweh once again, for thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty Yahweh, which really the word there would probably be Allah, which would be power. Right? But the name of him, the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, right? And his son's name is Yahushai. And, just in case you don't know, which most people do, but just a side topic, whenever you see red letters in the Bible, that's, Yahushai's words, which Yahushai's words are very important, okay? Because it's Yahweh and then Yahushai and then King David. That's the order of the kingdom, okay? Yahushai is second in command. But anyways, that was just something I want to, tell you in case for some reason you knew brothers or sisters, or just for some reason you didn't know that. Whenever it's in red, it's Yahushai. All right. Just wanted to bring that out. For our brethren who now have suffered a short pain are dead under Yahweh's covenant of everlasting life, but thou, through the judgment of Yahweh, shalt receive just punishment for thy pride. But I, as my brethren, offer my body and life for the laws of our fathers, beseeking Yahweh that he would speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou, by torments and plagues, mayest confess that he alone is Yahweh, or is God, is the power, is the only true God. And that in me and my brethren, the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon our nation, may cease. Then the king, being in a rage, handed him worse than all the rest. So he was pressed. All right, he was extremely pressed, and took it grievously that he was mocked. So this man died undefiled, and put his whole trust in the Lord. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feast and the extreme tortures. All right, well, actually, we did read the whole chapter. So that's all the Spirit. Kal halayim la alashaya Yahweh bahashim hamashak Yahushai waharukakwadash. All right, barakathum to the sincere akim wakim. So we may have to die for this truth, man. But all these sons and their mother are examples for us, man. Well, the biggest example is Yahweh's son Yahushai. Okay, because Yahushai, he went through complete hell. He had the worst life ever, man. But this chapter, read this chapter whenever doubt comes in your mind, whenever demons have you feel like you're terrified or scared of death or what Esau can do. Fuck all that shit, man. Look what this is the youngest son, man, and he just completely slaughtered that devil, completely slaughtered that devil with words, man. He was so pressed. And I wouldn't be surprised if these sons or some they ended up seeing that guy in the kingdom and beat his ass, or one of them had him in slavery. Righteous recompense and judgment is coming, man. So whatever they do, just know that Yahweh can do way worse to them, man. There's nothing they can do that Yahweh can't do 1 billion or 1 trillion, and that's an understatement again, times worse. Okay? We may have to die for Yahweh by Shema Shai. We may have to die for not taking the chip, but it's all worth it. All right? So, Thawadi Yahweh Yahushai for having me bring out this lesson. Once again, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai willing. It was edifying, right? And really exhortation. Okay? We need to be ready to die. Okay? Most of us won't die. I feel like a good amount of brothers are going to be thrown into prison, like a FEMA camp, but I think very few are going to be martyrs. But those that are martyrs, I pray, in Yahweh Shema Shai willing, that whoever the martyrs may be, that you have a swift and a quick and a painless death, as much as Yahweh wills, whatever Yahweh wills. But Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai willing that you can endure it, and you can and if it has to be me too, that we can endure it, that we can keep faith throughout the whole thing. Because scriptures speak about people being beheaded for not taking the chip. So we may have to be beheaded, all right, on the guillotine. So Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai willing that we can endure, and that when we're put on that guillotine, that we can have faith, that we can trust Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and that we can, really just, be glad that we made that decision, that we didn't give in, death before dishonor. So with that said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, or well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom.